Hello everyone, I'm Hemang Vellore, a 14-year unschooled techie with 6 years of journey. I have been through MIT to NASA to workshops such as hackathons and events and many more. I've organized partners, I've been tutoring many of them, and now I am on climate change road, I could say. Um, so let's talk about climate change, shall we? So what is climate change? Well, put it simply, it's in its name, climate change. Climate is changing, and for the worse. Why is it changing? Well, we have to understand the origins of climate change and why was it made and how it was it made. And if you ask how was it made, well, it was created by us, and it was created by pure mistake, and the mistake that we chose to ignore. A little bit of recap. In the 19th century, the good old industrial revolution, when people started working very hard to bring up innovation, things like that. People were on top of the innovation charts. But very few people saw the issues of this, saying that, oh, it has a lot of carbon, CO2 emissions, and things like that. It has a lot of issue. And people warned them, saying like, hey, this is going to have a lot of problem in the future. We should try to fix it as soon as we can. There's a quote saying that if someone's really annoying you, just ignore them. And that quote, we really took it very seriously, and that we just ignored everyone who ever spoke about climate change and these issues. Fast forward to 20th century, and now we are facing the issues of climate change. People are losing their houses to rising sea levels. We don't have fresh air to breathe. The ocean losing its life. Farmers are getting bad yields year by year, and it's just been pure chaos. And this is how climate change has started and its origins. It's quite saddening to see, that how it's a beautiful world with a beautiful ocean and beautiful life. With our own innovation, we have just ruined it. And why should we act on it? People may ask me, like, okay, it has been done, so what can we do? Well, if we don't act now, even if whatever I told you about the bad things have been happening, if that still doesn't concern you, let me tell you this. In our future generation, or in our current lifespan, we won't have any good air to breathe. We'll be breathing a lot of greenhouse gases. We'll be very sick. We won't have a beautiful place called home. We won't have a beautiful oceans. We can't have anything. It'll be just pure chaos. People losing their lives, houses to forest burns and things like that. People losing their houses. It's pure chaos. And if we don't fix up our mess now, well, climate change will be our reasoning for our doom. And think to yourselves, is it really that we want? Is it really that you want for your future generation and for yourself? Think fast, because time is ticking. But what can we do to solve climate change? What can we do to have what solutions are there? Well, there are plenty of solutions that we can do. Starting off, collaboration. In the wars that we fought and the innovations that we made, we have always collaborated with few people or few companies together or countries to form alliance and make wonders. And the wars that we won, the innovations that we achieved, and things like that. And if we hold our hands together and fight against climate change, I believe we can do it with collaboration and hard workers like us. But how do we connect to people? How do we work together? How do we collaborate? Well, thanks to the internet and online, it's quite simple. You go to the online, search up few groups that you want to work with, go to Reddit, go to Facebook, go to Twitter. You can find the communities that you want to work in. You can find that you can learn more about climate change. That's how I learned. I started out going with Reddit. I started going a lot of groups in Facebook, and they taught me things about climate change. I went a lot of courses online, and I learned a lot over there. And that learning slowly gave me more idea about what climate change is and how can we solve them. And many of my personal ideas is that making more awareness about climate change. If you go and ask a school child, anyone saying like, hey, you know what's about climate change? I can guarantee you 80% of the time they wouldn't know about it. And they can't be blamed for that because they never thought about it. Neither the parents or school taught them about climate change. I'm not saying that they should go full activists, but having awareness about it will make them avoid choosing something like which has a lot of CO2 or gas emissions, things like that. And I started off when I was 13 in 2020 as a climate change driver, and I wanted to learn more and more. I was very fascinated by that. I really did wish that I knew about climate change when I was 8 or 9, and someone told me about it. Like, hey, mom, there's something called climate change that has been an issue for a long time. I really did wish someone told me about that because I would act since then. But better late than never, I guess. With that, believe we should implement things like the schools and colleges saying about climate change. And again, I'm not saying full activist, it's being more aware about your surroundings and the issues that we're facing. Being more aware is very good. And also supporting local farmers. Whoever you support in local farmer area is going to be very good than going to the supermarket and buying things from there. Of course, it's going to cost a little bit higher, but you're supporting the local community and you're getting a good quality vegetables for you and things like that. Also support startup companies who are making innovations for climate change, like packaging, things like that. There are great innovations like startups. There are startups who are cleaning the oceans for them. They've started making bandages from fruits. They're making startups such as replacing plastic as a thing. They're using recycled bamboo, using recycled chopsticks. There are plenty innovations like that waiting to be unveiled, but companies won't let them. And as a common person, we should trust these kind of companies and support them so they can grow and challenge the big mass producers, which can drive down the cost, but they have a very less quality and have a lot of climate change, does not have climate change impact. So let's start supporting startups which are very well needed, and let's start supporting individual farmers, the farmer market near you or someone you know, things like that. Also, in lifestyle way, you can kind of change, go to vegan, I tried being a vegan for a month or things like that, and I really liked it. But again, I got a little bit sick with the things, and doctor came in, we started bringing milk and a little bit meat. But besides point, I was very vegan for a long time and things like that. It's quite great. You kind of feel like, oh, you have a lot of energy, but at the same time, you kind of miss cheese a little bit. I kind of miss cheese. Anyways, more about lifestyle. You can take a little bit shorter showers and go for a walk or a bicycle to work, things like that, or a little bit closer, things like that. Whenever I go to somewhere place near me, I prefer going with a bicycle or for a walk. I put on my headphones and go for a long walk. I just enjoy going for a walk, things like that. Getting outside, being a little bit healthy, things like that is good for you as well. And those are small solutions that we can implement day by day and big solutions that we can work together. And with that, I conclude my speech. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, TEDxKothrud, for giving this opportunity. I'm well blessed. Stay safe, everyone. Cheers.